Okay, we're here for another matchup view. This time we will talk about the lands matchup, and I just see I forgot to board the things back. So I found the lands matchup to be complicated a lot of the time because you have a lot of ways to lose. You have to do a lot of gambling. So what I mean by that is, what do you do when they exploration on turn one? This is really tough to answer. On the play, it's more easy because you know your follow-up play. But on the draw, it's really dicey. Do you force it? Probably you should, I think, because they will get ahead so much, and they have their Rashadam ports. They have the Dark Depths combo sometimes. They don't have it that often, but even Rashadam ports will make you stumble really hard if they have the exploration and they can ramp into other threats. And sometimes you will feel bad for countering it because they have another one, or they only have lands and no gas, and you shouldn't have, or only one gas, which you can't counter then. So this is hard, but I think in general, you should counter the turn one exploration with Delver. Even, I mean, at least when you're on the draw. On the play, it can be different when you know your follow-up of play, but this is then hard to evaluate. So, okay, what do you have to keep in mind? Turn one Delver is so-so. I would much rather have cantrip to save my mana and set up a Dreadhorde. Nah, Young Pyromancer is meh again. It's equally good or bad as Delver, but maybe a little bit better. But Dreadhorde Arcanist gets you ahead. And if you can resolve it, Oko, this is good in the matchup because you can decide if you want to elk their Mox Diamonds, which they might need, or their Elfish Reclaimer, which can also be, by the way, a problem. I have forced Elfish Reclaimers on turn one if I only have cantrips and no answer for it, because this, at least in the newer versions of lands, will provide some problems for you with Flagstones of Trocare and other utility lands. So, okay, these are your primary win conditions, I guess, because this will get you other win conditions. Loam can be a problem because you only have one Force of Negation, and you have to really watch them when you need to counter the Loam. The first one is probably the worst one for them, and then you have to look what they target and how it hurts you. If they only return useless lands, then I think it's fine. Or it hurts you only a little bit, then you should be okay with it, because when you hit with an Arcanist for one and only have your forces protection, you need to counter something which will kill you. Some Valakut exploration can be dangerous, or something which will kill your Arcanist, like Assaults Plowshares or Lightning Bolt, or Decay you cannot, or whatever they play. So what is your game plan post-board? Oh, what I should mention, Wasteland. A lot of the time I either wasteland them early when I see they stumble on a certain thing, or something like a Rashadam pot to free my mana, or I just leave it open all the time. And when they go, for example, for Tabernacle, in their turn. You can wasteland it so your creatures don't screw over your mana. This is something to keep in mind, that you wasteland in the right moment. And this also comes with practice, but hold it, but don't hold it too long, I guess. I will show you in the gameplay section a video where I think I did hold it too long. So postboard. There is Clothes, which is great because they cannot remove it normally. Oh, they have Skycleave Apparition sometimes. But Skycleave Apparition is not free for them because they also have to deal with the 3/3. You have Sylvan Library, which provides you with more lands, basically, because they will waste into your drop. And it's very good because they don't pressure your life total, or they pressure it when they hit you for 20. Then, yeah, these cards, this depends on the build, I guess. I will put them here for now. This is also good. So this is one special thing. I don't board surgical against lands because loam is very annoying to deal with, but it's not something which kills you. They kill you with having a fast start of some sort. Either they Dark Depths combo you, or they Rishadam or Pot or Wasteland you, or they kill you with bigger threats like Sylvan Library, Valakut Exploration, Elfish Reclaimer. These are problem cards. So, and I don't really, this is only for loam, and they are less reliant on the graveyard nowadays. They only have loam, and they have sometimes Punishing Fire if they are on the old school version. But Punishing Fire is not that great against you anymore because you don't rely on Delver that much. These are just really corner case threats. Really corner cases, maybe overestimate. But these are your key threats. Oops, what I have done here. Okay, so I bought it in 2 Clothes, 1 Force, and the Sylvan Library. Now you have to think and the Submerge, I think. Because when they play Reclaimer and they play the Dark Depths combo, not always do they have a Forest then, but still. And it's a blue card. Bolts are kind of weak. So I bought out, I think, 3 of them, sometimes 2, when they are on this build with 4 Reclaimers and 2 or 3 Skycleave Apparitions. I leave in 4 bolts. You have to check the version they are on with, I don't know, MTG Goldfish or so. Okay, next up, can board out 1 Force. So now it depends if you're on the play or on the draw. On the draw, Daze becomes worse because they have fast mana, and the time frame where Daze is good is very short in general, and on the draw it's even shorter. So I bought out 2 days, and now I always have to think. So for example, if I keep in the bolts, what you can do is board out 1 cantrip, because when you flood on them, you don't interact early enough with them, and you're kind of relying on that. So you can board out 1, and maybe on the draw more dazes. I think this is fine. And if they play less creatures, you can keep in 1 days and put out a bolt, something like this. So this is on the draw. Yeah, and on the play, you can, for example, switch out 1 force. But keep in mind, you have to answer certain things like early libraries, early Valakut explorations, sometimes early reclaimers, sometimes the swords to plowshares. These are all cards you have to answer. So you can, on the play, put out 1, and I guess put back in the cantrip or the days, what you like. It's not set in stone. And post-bot, so what is your game plan? How does the dynamic change? They get removal. You have to keep in mind that they will remove your primary threat more often, and they will have Pyroblast. So look out for which mana they keep open. When they keep red open all the time, and I mean, Delver doesn't matter if it dies, but if you force something, when it's something which is medium scary for you, really reconsider forcing it, or sometimes run an Oko into a Pyroblaster. I'm not sure. Depends on the texture of your hand. Try to play around it a little bit. Bait them somehow. Not a clear advice, but something to keep in mind. But you have libraries, that is very good. And as long as Elfish Reclaimer is not beating you down, these are probably game winning if you don't get behind too early. These are, yeah, not game winning, but they are a threat which provide you an advantage. Not more to say about this. Yeah, because there are scarier things happening to you than dealing you normal combat damage. I mean, the combo and Life from the Loam exploration, this can all get out of hand, but I think it's a reasonable card against them. Okay, this is my plan for lands, like this. Oh, and what I forgot to mention, if they are on the old school build, you want to put a grudge and a braid and cut more bolts, I guess. Maybe something like this. Because they will have sphere of resistance, and this is also outright killing you in the long run, so you need more answers to it. Okay, that was the video for lands. Goodbye.